Hello, my name is Bernard Chazelle, sometimes known as Bernard Chazelle, and I'm here to say a few words about my good friend Jean-Daniel Boissonnat. Now, it's going to be hard for you to imagine, but there was a time when Jean-Daniel and I and Herbert Elsberner were the youngest in any crowd. We were in a conference workshop, we were the youngest. Somehow I doubt that Jean-Daniel, where he's sitting right now among you, is the youngest in the crowd. There could be somebody younger listening to this. Who knows? Now, I could go on and on and on telling you what an incredible person he is, what an inspiring leader, what a great scientist Jean-Daniel is, but it seems to be neither the time nor the place for it. Okay, now I hope you're laughing hard because this was a joke, and this is a good one. You can rewind it if you didn't understand it. I know it's good because I stole it. I stole it from Steve Martin. But back to the subject at hand, which is Jean-Daniel. Jean-Daniel, to me, is the archetypical Inria man with one foot in theory, one foot in applied engineering, and one foot in public education, which means that he has three feet. It just tells you what an extraordinary man he is, 3 feet. The man brought computational geometry to France and turned Sophia Antipolis into one of the world centers in the field. And for this, we're all supremely grateful. Now, I've heard that Jean-Daniel is retiring, and I have trouble understanding what this means. I mean, just imagine a bus driver telling you, hey, I'm retiring, I'm very happy about this because this way now I can indulge in my favorite hobby, which is to drive a bus. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So I imagine that when Jean-Daniel retires, it means he'll have extra time to do even more research in computational geometry, and we all look forward to that. Now, a retirement speech such as this one is a very tricky thing because it has to sound like a eulogy, except that the guy is not dead. So one has to be very careful with the words one uses. And that's what I'm going to do when I tell you about the next topic, which is Thailand. Now, it turns out that Jean-Daniel and I once were invited to Thailand to teach a summer school, or maybe it was a winter school or a spring school, some kind of school in Chiang Mai, the north of Thailand. It was great, a lovely place, lovely people, great food, fantastic place. And we took some time off to go on excursions and see what the countryside looked like. And so you may have seen a picture of him and me on an elephant, very tall elephant, very big elephant, big enough that we could both be on its back, and very, very tall, very high. If we'd fallen from the elephant, we probably would have died. I mean, it just tells you the sort of risk we were willing to take, which of course nothing compares to what comes next, which is our excursion to the cave. Now, you may have heard, you may remember a few months back, there was this horribly scary, horribly scary story about this soccer team of kids in Thailand, and then they took shelter in a cave, and then they got stuck. The water started rising, and for weeks and weeks we didn't know whether they would make it out alive. Thank God they did. That was just something else, if you remember. Well, something like that happened to us, though it didn't make the headlines. We decided to go into a cave, and I still remember seeing the guide. The guy was going to take us into the cave, and he had the only source of light was like a candle or maybe a cigarette lighter, and that's it. And we went in there, and I thought to myself, oh my God, if that light goes out, we're screwed. I was going to use a different word, but this is a family program, so I will refrain. And so I thought, well, if it's dark, if it gets all dark, I'll just retrace my step by touching the wall and going back. Except that at some point I saw they start having forks in the road. It's not a road, it's a tunnel. It's a very, very, very narrow tunnel. So there were forks, and going left, going right. I couldn't remember where we were going. And then it turns out to be a multi-connected graph. So we would have been buried alive in that place. We had to crawl, and there was water and stuff like this. Anyway, long story short, I'm here to tell you that story. So all ended well. But I'm just mentioning this to give you an indication of the kind of person Jean-Daniel is, and I am. Again, willing to risk our lives for science and for education. That's who we are. Anyway, now this is this really serious part of the retirement speech, so I have to put on my glasses. Jean-Daniel, on behalf of the computational geometry community, I want to thank you for all you've done for our scientific field. On behalf of myself, I want to thank you for being such an inspiration throughout your career. More important, for being such a dear, good friend for so long. Take care, my friend.